Now, if we use a radio telescope, then the receiving civilization has to also have a radio telescope, and that means they must have similar mathematics and similar physics. Suppose we design a message like this. Suppose we use two symbols, let's say 0 and 1, the basis of the familiar binary arithmetic. Let's let a tone of one frequency stand for the 0, and a tone of another frequency stand for the 1. We can then put together a message that might be something like this. Well, we can't make much sense of this message just yet, but we do notice that the message is repeated in several groups. Each group, each message, contains a certain number of zeros and ones. This number is 2,419. Now, there's something very interesting about 2,419. It's the product of two prime numbers. Two prime numbers are 41 and 59. And this is going to be a fact that's true regardless of what planet the mathematician who's analyzing this happens to be living on. Now, this immediately suggests that we arrange this sequence in a rectangular array, a square raster, so that we can see if there's any picture that comes out of it. If we arrange it one way and remove the zeros, then we get something like this. This is a picture which shows us nothing of any particular interest, no obvious symmetries, nothing to attract the attention of an extraterrestrial civilization. But suppose the message is arranged in another way. Suppose this message is arranged as 41 lines of 59 columns. Then the extraterrestrials might see coming off their computer a data analysis something like this. Here we see a man, at least recognizably a man to us. Here is the sun and the orbits of the inner planets of the solar system, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. There's a line connecting the man with the orbit of the third planet, the Earth. All of this seems to be quite clear to us. There are some things which might not be clear to everybody on Earth. For example, this sequence of numbers here, 2, 8, 18, and 32. But certainly even an extraterrestrial with no prior familiarity with what people look like would be struck by the enormous order and symmetry of such a picture. It could not fail but to call attention to it. Now, this sort of message and much more sophisticated messages can be sent through space, but over what distances? If we imagine both sending and receiving civilizations using a radio telescope only as advanced as the most complicated one on Earth, the most advanced one on Earth, the Arecibo telescope in Puerto Rico, it turns out that communication could be established over the astonishing distance of 1,000 light years.